morning. This is going to be a training on the pay plan. We have this training every Saturday, and it's different every Saturday. Some days it may be how to build, some days it may be products, but today is about the money, about how you get paid here every Friday. So we can begin right there. You're going to be paid here 52 Fridays a year, plus you're going to get a savings bonus on top of that. So you can be getting up to 5 paychecks a month when that savings bonus kicks in for you, which you'll understand in just a second. So if you're watching this via a recording, somebody has sent this to you, this is going to be the in-depth pay plan training. And it will include some promotional things that will have some timestamps on, which I'll indicate as we go through here. But the basics of our pay plan have never changed and never will change. That's kind of a fundamental key of what we call our Bill of Rights. Pay plan is what it is. So that being said, when you start a business like this and you've never been in the industry before, sometimes it takes a second to understand how the money flows, where it comes from. And I do want anybody out there that has questions, don't leave this with an unanswered question. Just throw it in the chat and Anthony or Ashley will chime in. Brent Palmer is at his daughter's volleyball game. He'll be joining us here in just a little bit, hopefully chiming in. And then Kristal is with us also, but he had a chest cold, wasn't sure how much he could talk. So Chris will be chiming in some too. But the way the money flows here is your company, Partner Co., is in the middle of a global $4 trillion empire, according to the Global Wellness Institute. That's what they now say is the global amount of money that is spent on the health and wellness industry. This is not a product training, but Lisa Gildry, I've heard her say it, that the products are the best in the marketplace. That's a given. And they are. They're all doctor created. They're all backed by science. Several of them have actually been put into the physician desk reference. They're all backed with clinical studies. They're just light years above almost all competitors in the marketplace. Somebody may be equally as good. It'll be a very small percentage, but nobody's better because we stay up to date with all the science all the time. But we're in the middle delivering products to end consumers in 58 countries with a license that we can now do from our, what we call our home-based business, our iPhone, our iPad, or our computer, whichever way you'd rather work it. Now, that's how where the money comes from. Now, here's how it works for you. And this is going to start very, very elementary and go all the way into calculus. So don't get lost in the weeds as we get in depth on some things if you're brand new. But this part you do want to understand. This is the beginning. So when you join Partner Co., you pay $29.95 one time for your phone-based business. There is not even a renewal. It's not even like Costco or Sam's. It's a one-time fee. You get your app, you get your online presence, you get your ID, you get your password, and you get all the support, training, PDFs, and videos that the company's been making for years. So that's $29.95. You can automatically log in and you have a spot. Now, there are a couple of more steps to create income and get your business eligible for the full discounts and to be able to be paid every Friday. So step one is you have to activate your business with what we call a business pack, or you can even a la carte products or sell products. Most people do start with a preset pack, but you do not have to do it that way. You have the whole first month you're here, the first 4 Fridays, together what we call 200 points of product, either bought or sold. And when you do, you're activated and you will now be eligible for 15% on any customer that you sign up on the wholesale price. And then you're going to be, when you sign up a new brand partner, you'll be paid 15% of whatever volume they start buying. That's the activated position. Most people start there, but you can start all the way at the top level, or you can upgrade to it. The upgrade is done by the computer system on anything you're buying or selling automatically for the first 4 Fridays. So anything you keep adding in the computer is going to be going toward the business levels you're about to hear. After the first 4 Fridays, you have 8 weeks to do it. So after the first 4 Fridays, you can absolutely call in your orders and tell them you want it to count for your business level. And then for some reason you get past your 8 weeks and you're not fully qualified at Ultimate yet, You can still get there. Just find somebody in your upline that's an officer above, and they'll be able to three-way you into the elite line, and you can make the necessary purchase for the difference at that time. But in that first 8 weeks, you can be a la carte the whole way through. So 200 points and you're active. You got access to all 9 ways we get paid at that level. But when you get to business level, which is a total of 500 points bought or sold through your personal business, it moves you to 20%, 25% at elite. And then if you get to 1,500 points, it's 30% at ultimate. Ashley, anything you and Anthony want to add there?
No, I think you pretty much covered it.
Yeah, you did.
And anything you want to add?
You did an amazing job sharing with everybody what it's all about.
Okay. So right now, this is one of those timestamps. This is only until September 30th, 2023. Just a promotion. The company will run random promotions like this. But this is not a part of the pay plan. This is just a random 2-week promotion coming out of our convention. You'll see there at the bottom that if you come in with a 500-point pack or achieve 500 points on your business, then you're going to receive a retail value of $238 worth of free product. It's a preset product. You're going to get our detox, which is one of the best detoxes in the world. It's a tremendous heavy metal remover, and it really gets the toxins out of the blood. And for those on the weight loss journey, it'll help you really break plateaus. It's got zeolite, activated charcoal, chlorea, all kind of great things in it. But you'll just get 2 bottles of that or a 2-month supply for free. If you go to Elite and get 1,000 points, you'll get those same 2 bottles, but plus you'll get our Go Time Energy, which is a fairly strong energy. I believe that's either the lip bumper or the eye balm and some type of facial wash. What that is, actually?
I think it's the lip and the eyelash.
So what that is, I can't tell you. I've never used it, but we sell it. It's good. I can promise. And then you can see if you get all 1,500 points accomplished, that you're going to get 3 bottles of that detox, that same skincare stuff, and then again the Go Time Energy. That's a special running the next 2 weeks.
So if you're in the business and you go and just purchase 500 volume points, any new volume points, 500 or 1,000 or 1,500, that qualifies you, correct?
That is correct, but we all know our system. Be leery of that, because our system is we want to sign that up on somebody's first generation if you've already qualified. I wouldn't be chasing free product. I would build the business and create financial independence. Now, if you're brand new and you're not ultimate yet, then I would be chasing it. Okay, so the second thing, so that's step 1, $29.95. The next step, qualify your business. Third and final step, you have to have 1 reoccurring customer a month. It's going to occur every 4th Friday. We love to sign up and auto ship when we put a person in the first day, because it does not bill them, but it does qualify them for the full 30% discount, the bulk buying, our area where we can get up to 45 to 60% off on certain products that rotate in there monthly. We call it loyalty shopping. And it's going to make you eligible for your Friday paychecks. So we put it in the system. No matter what day of the week you sign up on, that coming Friday is your first Friday. And then it will bill the first time, the 4th Friday out. And from that point forward, it's going to bill every 4th Friday, 100 points or $150 worth of product. If you don't put it in when you sign up, just make sure when you go to put it in, when you go to that subscribe and say, make sure you double check your color-coded week. It's got to be on the right, what we call qualifying week. If you're confused on that, call someone in your upline for help, or just call Rep Services, and Rep Services will help you put it in on the right week. If for some reason it goes in on the wrong week, something goes astray, it's so easily fixable. Never fret. It's all good. But make sure, I don't have these slides up, but also make sure if you're new, you're going to see in a second in the X office where this is. I'll point it out when we get there. But do make sure you go add your Social Security number, and make sure you go add your direct deposit information. And when you add your direct deposit information, make sure it's 100% direct deposit. Don't let it go anywhere else. Go except to your bank, 100% direct deposit to your bank. And make sure when you do that, you save it. If you forget to do that, you're not going to be getting paid. But as long as you have your subscribe and save, you're not losing money. The company's just not sending it out. So if you wake up 2 months from now and say, oh my gosh, I didn't put my direct deposit in. When you put it in, As long as you've had your auto ship active, then when it goes in, then all the money will catch up and come out that next Friday once it's active in there.
That's it. 100%. Click save.
Okay. Now we start building. There are going to be 9 different ways you're able to get paid. The first one is retail profit. We're not going to spend much time on this because we spend a lot of time on this on our IPA calls that run 5 days a week. But retail profits are very simple. That is you selling a product that we offer to a customer retail. You can do it one of 2 ways. You can buy in bulk and sell it out of your hand. Pretty much double your money there if you're doing it that way. Or you have a smart link. If you put a product in your shopping cart and create smart link, it'll be a little line that says that at the top of that shopping cart. Create smart link. It's going to generate a link and a QR code that you can send someone. So let's just say you're doing that with a box of MOA. You send that to someone, they order the box of MOA. You're going to get retail profits in your paycheck, plus you're going to get paid in the pay plan too, which we'll be describing as we go through this. Anything you want to add there, Ant?
No, I encourage anybody again to jump on the IPA call if you want to learn about the bulk and retail. We have the opportunity to have the Panama City girls, the ladies who started this whole thing, and then we have David on there. We also have Dr. Kristal and Ashley who put it all together so we can use that system. So if you want to learn about how to make that extra upfront income, we definitely encourage you to jump on Monday through Friday.
Is Dr. Kristal here this morning? Speak up if you are, Dr. Kristal. Okay. All right. So here we go. So the first big way we get paid, we call it base pay. So you do not have to do this on your own in the beginning. Someone will always help you when you first start bringing people into your organization. But when you sign someone up, they're going to start what we call a leg for you. It's up to you, your team. There is no exact science on this, but most people either start by building 2 or 3 legs. You've got to be at least at the 500-point business level to have your 3rd leg. Hey, Dr. Kristal.
Good morning.
I would just ask you that
now.
You're here. So anything you want to add? I want to pause and make sure there's not something you wanted to make sure we got out there.
No, I think this is incredible. And thank you very much for running through this.
Okay, so we're starting the base pay. And Kristal, I think you built 3. Are you currently building 3 legs? Did I hear Brent Palmer tell me that?
Yes, I do. I have 3, actually just started a 4th. So.
Okay, great. That'll be perfect. So I'm going to come back and forth to you on this, Kristal. So, So when we start building, the goal, your first person has to go on leg 1. There's nowhere else to put them. But after that, we're going to start building at least 2 legs. Some people start with 3. Very few, almost none start with 4, but you will graduate one day and build a 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th leg if you decide you want to do this in a huge way. But let's just look at the screen as if we're building 3 legs. The way this works is you're paid on every leg. So don't fret. But in this area of pay, you're paid on every leg, every Friday to unlimited depth. Anywhere in the world it grows, you're paid 15% of whatever anybody sells. Doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter what country it's in. If you sign up somebody in China, they're going to pay with the yuan. They're going to get shipped Chinese products, and the whole banking system and our computer system is going to go to work. It's going to convert that to dollars, and the following Friday you get 15% of whatever was bought in Hong Kong. It just is that simple. It's the most amazing technology. It's the technology revolution. But it's 15% unlimited in every leg but the biggest. So in this illustration, you see 3 legs. So you can see that first leg had 4,800 points of product sold. And by the way, next to every product in your shopping cart will be $1 and a point value. There's always a little bit of difference, but generally it's about $1.50 to a point would be the general average. So you can see there on leg 2 and 3, you had 4,000 on leg 2, you had 2,000 on leg 3. So you'd be paid 15% unlimited of all of those sales, or $900 total for the week. So just as Kristal said, Kristal has just begun a fourth leg. So the goal is to get every leg that you start building to eventually selling 13,334 points of product a week, approximately 20,000 in sales, cumulative, everybody in your organization. The reason that number is important is because if you multiply 13,334 times 15%, that equals 2,000. If you get a $2,000 base paycheck, or you the terminology we use is you optimize the leg with 13,334 points, it's going to trigger bonus money. We're not going to go in depth on this bonus money, but just know cumulatively there is 3% of worldwide revenue set aside weekly. And you can go capture as much of it as you want to. You're getting ready to see how these bonuses exponentially grow depending on how many legs of business you get that are doing 13,334 in sales weekly. So this illustration here actually shows 4 legs. It shows all 4 legs did 13,334 for the week. So on 3 of the legs, you'll be paid $2,000 on each leg. So that's $6,000 in base pay. But the bonus money is in addition. And these bonuses are low because it's not a set number. If you go to the partner.co share app and you go into business, you can print off the entire compensation plan. And you will see that the first leg you get done, you get 2 shares in the pool. But it triples for every leg. So the next leg will be 6. The next leg, just keep tripling all the way through. I'm going to get my math messed up and say it wrong, but it's all on the chart there. But generally speaking, this is approximately the numbers, and they are low. I know all of ours are higher than this right now. But when you get that first pay leg done, besides getting $2,000, you're going to get a $400 bonus that week. You're going to get an additional $800 bonus on the third one. And then if you get the next one done, it jumps to $2,400. And then you can see this. If you decide to get spunky and go do this in a big way, go full-time at it one day, go change a lot of people's lives. If you wanted to go out and build 8 legs, as this illustration shows, it actually would be 9 legs. So there has to be a power leg too, but 8 pay legs. Then you would be getting 8 times 2,000, 2,000 per leg. That's 16,000 for the week. This is all weekly pay, not monthly. But then you would also be getting, if you look down there at the 8th leg, you'd be getting a $28,000 bonus that week in addition. And you can see the numbers all the way through there. So this, when somebody says that XYZ is making $3 million a year, this is how they're doing it. That bonus money plus these pay legs maxed out. And this doesn't even include our biggest way we get paid, which we haven't got to yet. So Kristal, Anthony, Ashley.
Well, we have one of the best on here as well that has just joined in. Coach Palmer just joined in. I know he's touched some of these bonuses. Coach, would you like to dive in on these, or Dev and King?
Yeah, Anthony, this is one of the things that makes our compensation plan the number one in the industry. Is when you look at this and you work towards the future. The fact a lot of people look at residual income, but this thing taps into exponential growth, so as you optimize these pay lines, and me and Dr. Kristal Vance was just talking about it yesterday, her jumping into a 4th line, it is something that creates some massive wealth, but you got to look at it from an exponential standpoint. So, and the way the system of growth is working right now with Slenderize, we're seeing legs optimize, and Todd and Ashley can allude to this better than anybody. We're seeing people that are following the system are optimizing lines quicker than I have ever seen in this industry. It's unbelievable.
So Kristal, do you want to share us your thought pattern on starting your 4th leg? Tell us your thoughts on that.
Well, building all of these years, it's always been about building teams, which that's the most exciting part, is as you're seeing each individual leader take off and grow their teams. And what I love about this compensation plan is I would build a team, and as that team would grow, it left where, how do I, the best way to explain this? There was always a breakaway. Like, I needed to let that team leader take that team, and it was best for them. Whereas here, I can start new teams, and yet because of the way that it continues to grow with that exponential growth, I still get to be a part of it. It's not like the team is slide to the side of me and the new leadership. Like, we all really truly get to work together. So it's in my best interest as a business owner to continue to bring on new teams, because I get to be a part of a little bit of it all, instead of start a team and it goes somewhere. It's so hard to explain as with in terms of the company. I've never experienced anything like this before with a company. All the years with growing up, for those who don't know, 30 years with the Amway Corporation, as my parents grew it, and then even with Limu, the plan separated me from my team eventually. That's not the case here. And so I'm just excited to continue to bring on more teams, because I get to work with more people.
So, Kristal, I think it's easier said that you're a doctor and you're no longer have a practice. You're full-time here. So something's working for you.
I think that's it, is that I get to be a businesswoman now instead of just the doctor.
Okay. So that was called base pay, and the bonuses associated with base pay. This is another area of pay, but it works off your base pay. It's really simple. Our goal is to get everyone making at least $250 a week in base pay. So let's go back and look at that chart. So right here, you can see that right here, this person would have made $900 in base pay for that week. 900 is more than 250. So it triggers what we call the savings bonus, which is an extra 15%. Anything above 250 triggers a 15% match into a savings account. So if you made $900, that would be 90 plus 45 be $135. 15% of 900 would go into your savings account immediately that week. You will see it get dropped in the second you log in with your ID and password. All of these are winners, and the way how you win your full $10,000 savings check is that's going to start cumulatively building week over week. When it hits 10,000, the company's going to call you. They're going to congratulate you, as they did all of these new winners just a few months back, and they're going to give you an extra 10,000 that week. You might make 10,000 in the paycheck too. So you might be a $20,000 week, but you're going to get an extra 10,000, and from that point forward, they're going to give you an extra 15%, and they're going to release it to you in a savings bonus once a month. It does have a $2,000 monthly cap on the savings bonus once you get your initial 10,000. So you'll get an extra 15% up to $2,000 or $500 extra every week in your savings bonus. So this is announced right now as a promotion, but it's all the way through May 2024. And as long as everybody loves it, it's going to become permanent. But we want, or the company wants, everyone to get money in their savings bonus. So let's go back to the savings bonus 1 second. To have that grow, you have to have an active auto ship. So if you turn your auto ship off, you'll lose your savings bonus. Remember, it doesn't have to be you. It could be a customer. You just have to have one reoccurring customer a month. That's the only qualification the company has to draw $10 million from the company. But this right here allows a brand new person to get their first up to $1,500 put in their savings account. So when you pay your $29.95, you get your business level activated. Our business model is very simple. We want to help you find two people that pay $29.95 and get their business qualified with a business level and get on an active auto ship. Then we're going to help those two people find their two people. So this promotion is called you plus two, your two, and then help them get two. That'll be a total of 6 people. Now, what do we do from there? Well, you can go sign up 100 people if you want to. And all the people that signed up, there is no limit, no time frame. This is just a structured way to build, to kind of give a person an understanding, but 2 by 2, and then it just starts growing out. So this is how it works. From the time you sign up, you have 60 days to get your 2 people. From the time they sign up, they have 60 days to get their 2 people. So when that occurs, depending upon what business level everybody becomes, and this is to include you, I'll go back so you can get the visual. You, the lady there in the blue jeans, that's you, plus your 2, plus their 2. There's going to be 6 in the business, plus you make 7. So now going to this, depending upon what business level that they all become, and by the way, this is the part that's a bit tricky, but I'm going to explain it as good as I can. It is the lowest common denominator wins. So if we go back to this chart right here, and 6 people, you plus 5 others are at 1,500 points, but one of those people is only at 500, then it's only going to trigger the $500 extra bonus. So our goal is to get all 6 to ultimate. Number 1, it maximizes the pay plan for them. Number 2, it gives them gold status. You get ready to understand on the next area of pay how important that is. But number 3, if everybody gets ultimate, you plus those 6 in the time frame, the company is going to give you an automatic $1,500 in your savings account that second. So you'll have a $1,500 head start on getting to your $10,000. You're also going to make approximately $1,500 in the pay plan between the new volume bonus and base pay. It's going to be right at $1,500. And then they're also going to give you what we call lifestyle credits to help you win your vacations. They're going to give you actually $24,000. You'll understand that better in 1 second. Brent, Kristal.
Regular
Hey,
business.
Coach.
Just go do regular business.
Yeah. And that's what I was going to say, Dr. Kristal. I mean, this follows the system of growth with Slenderize that so many of you are doing. It follows it to a T with what you're already doing. So don't change anything in what you're doing. But Todd, I just want to make sure, and you might have said this, but if for instance, me, I want to participate in this, I've been in the business, then one of the things that triggers the U+2 is me going and purchasing myself points. Okay. I've been asked that a lot. So I have to purchase 500 points. Todd, you want to touch on that? And you might have said that. I might have missed. Didn't hear it.
Yeah. So if you have been in the company and you're not new, new people works exactly the way I just said. But if you've already been in and you have less than $1,500 in your savings account, if you have more than $1,500 already, you're not eligible for this promotion. You'll just have to keep earning it the normal way. But if you are new, if you have been around and you do not have $1,500, then you can go do this over the next 60 days. But it's going to require you to become ultimate again, meaning you've got to go sell another 1,500 points of product. If you're ultimate already, it's not going to count. You're going to have to requalify that business with 1,500 again. You got to go sponsor 2 new people and get them 1,500 and get 2 people with 1,500. Now, if you're not interested in getting a $1,500 dump, let's just say you're already at 1,000 in your savings and 500 would do, then everybody needs to be at least 500 points to include you getting another 500 points. And if that's the case, they'll give you that extra 500 in your savings account. So again, this is a promotion. I don't want anybody to get lost in it. It's not permanent. I don't even know how much I'm going to even talk about it out on the front lines because it's complicated to me and I don't like complicated things. But it is there if anybody does want to utilize it. I think it can benefit their business.
Todd, thanks for that explanation. And I would say on this, everybody, there's so much success going on. The way you order your 10 boxes, the way you leverage it into your organization, guys continue to do that. Continue, don't slow up on any of that. So
yeah, I would not change a single thing. I was telling Ashley that this morning because she was asking. I was like, I would not change one order to try to qualify for that. Because if you'll build a business, you're going to get rich. You're chasing pennies trying to do that. Go build your business the way you're building it. If you're already in the company. Now, if you're brand new, go knock it out. Get that extra money in your savings account. Okay. There are 2 free vacations a year you can win. The one you can win right now, that's our global super vacation, is to Tahiti. It's been running since February. So the later you sign up in the year, the harder it becomes for you to win. But it's very simple to win it. This Tahiti trip, from the day they announced it in February, you had 45 weeks to December 31st. So you simply have to make $25,000 more in that 45-week period from February to December 31st than you did the previous 45 weeks. And in this particular vacation, that's all areas of the compensation plan combined. So it's 25,000 more. So if you're brand new, like Robin Perone, like Ashley Antley, they've all already won their vacation. They're competing against zero. So all they had to do was make $25,000. And Robin did it in 90 days. I think Ashley took her a little over 4 months to get it done. But they just show that can be done. Neither one of them come here with any experience. They just started from scratch, got on the standardized system of growth, and exploded their businesses and have won their free vacation. Anything you want to add there, Brent? Anybody?
All I can say is there's plenty of time. Don't think about yesterday. You can't control the past, but what you can control is from today going forward. So if you want to be in Tahiti, you can start today. Today, you can draw a line in the sand and say, hey, I'm going for it.
That slide was out of order. Sorry about that, but I was supposed to show you this first. So inside your X office, when you log in now, that promotion I was just showing is called a 2x2 tracker. So you can see what that looks like there. So that 2x2 tracker is going to be tracking everybody's business level and timeframes. So that promotion I just shared with you, you don't have to keep up with it. It's all kept up with inside your back office. All right. So what you got to do for me here is like draw a line on the piece of paper, because this is the next area of pay and it has no correlation. It's just another way we get paid, completely separate of everything else you've already seen. And it potentially can become, for many people, the largest area of pay in your paycheck. Dr. Kristal mentioned the word breakaway. If you're new in our industry, it may not make sense, but that is actually a big part of, I would say, 99.99% of compensation plans in our industry. That when people catch you by title or income, a lot of times they will break away and almost become a competitor, the same as a real estate agent that breaks out of a real estate office and starts her own brokerage. But in this pay plan, it's not the case. That's the reason we're ranked #1 in the world. So in this area of pay, there is no breakaway. There is no minimum and there is no maximum. This is the area of pay that drew me to this company, because I had never seen this before. This protects the brand new person that knows nothing, that gets really lucky and signs up a stud. I've got one. His name is Walt Hallman. He was bulldozing our land. He signed up in the business. He signed one person up named Robin Perone, and he makes about $600 or $700 a week now in this area of pay. And that's the only person. I take that back. Walt has put in 2 or 3 more people, but they haven't done anything. But that's the only person he's ever signed up that worked. And who knows, that could be $1 million a year. I keep telling him that. I'm like, well, just hang on. These girls are good. There's no telling what your paycheck's going to become one day. But here's how it works. When you go personally sponsor somebody, you bring them into the company yourself. When you sponsor them, our terminology is they're going to be on what we call your first generation. Now, it's complicated, but you can sponsor in depth under everybody in a leg and create volume for all involved. I'm not going to go into that today, but I just wanted to say it so nobody's confused. You sponsor. When you put somebody in the computer system and ask who the sponsor is, that's you, if you're sponsoring them. And then you can place them all the way at the bottom of one of your pay legs. That way everybody can benefit. That's a training for another day. That's a training within itself. But if you personally sponsored, you are now locked for life at a 15% match on that person's base pay. So if you sponsor somebody and they make $1 next Friday, they get $1 and you get 15 cents. If they make $100 next Friday, they get 100, you get 15. If they make $1 million 5 years from now for the year, nobody's gonna make that in a week, but if they make $1 million for the year, they get $1 million, you get 150,000. No minimum, no maximum, no cap, no breakaway. So what you're looking at there is that if you signed up 4 people, they all made $100 each. That would be $400 in base pay that went out. Times your 15%, you would get a $60 match on those $400 paychecks that got paid out. You can sign up 100 people if you want to. There is no limit. If you sign up 100 people, you get a 15% match on 100 people's businesses every Friday on their base pay. When they sign up people, meaning they sponsor somebody, that's your second generation, and it is a 10% match. When they sign up people, that is your third generation, and that is a 5% match. Now, what I'm about to tell you now, you want to write this down. This is crazy important. We all know that going ultimate or getting 1,500 points of product sold or bought on your business locks in a 30% return on the wholesale volume points of any products you sell or the brand partners that sign up that they start buying that first 4 weeks. But the biggest thing that comes with Ultimate is what we call gold status. This area of pay you have to qualify for. And if you go Ultimate, you become gold status. And when you get gold status, the first 3 generations unlock for life. You never have to requalify. For those that follow us on Facebook, I took a picture with Ping Shi at the convention. Nobody knows her. She's been here for a number of years. She's only ever signed up 1 person in the company. Her husband is a professor at the University of Michigan. They had an exchange student come over that was 20 years old. She went to 2 years of school, lived with them. They signed her up in the business before she went back home to China, and she became China's #1 money earner. She built a paycheck that exceeded $2 million a year until one of the people she sponsored passed her up and made $3 million in a year. So Ping Shi has never qualified but for 3 generations because she doesn't have any base pay. But just on 3 generations, she has been one of our top money earners. She's north of $500,000 a year just in matching check, just on the one girl I always say, Brent and I say it all the time, you never know who's going to do this. I mean, who would think a 20-year-old exchange student returning to China would go be China's top earner? It's mind-boggling how this business breaks down all barriers, all walls, all everything. Education don't matter. As Ken Bailey says, you can be from jail or you can be from Yale. It makes no difference. This is your business and you can create wealth.
And I think another important fact on this is what, like Dr. Kristal is building 4 lines. This is on every line matching check applies to.
To include your power leg. So that's what I mentioned early on, that in base pay, you're paid on every leg but the biggest. But in matching bonus, you're paid on every leg. If you only have 1 leg, as Ping Shi only has 1 leg. So 3 generations unlocked for life on gold status. Now, Ping Shi does not get 4, 5, 6, and 7 because she's never built a base paycheck. And to unlock generations 4, 5, 6, and 7, it's based upon the amount of money you're being paid by the company on a weekly basis in base pay. So $500 in base pay unlocks generation 4, 1,000 generation 5, 2,000 generation 6, 4,000 in base pay unlocks generation 7. All I would concern myself with is those first 3 generations. I would just go sponsor, 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 have a goal of 100 people one day on your first generation, and let it take its course from there. You can create total wealth, and it does not matter what leg goes wrong. Remember, this is totally separate, no correlation. All right, anything you guys want to add? Clarifications or?
Todd, I'll add this. And when we brought our company to this compensation plan, this is where I set up at the table when I saw matching pay. Because if you've ever built in this industry, and Todd alluded to it, it's hard to explain to somebody when they bring somebody. The reason this industry is so fun is because you're one person away from an explosion. You never know where it's going to come from. Quit trying to figure it out. You just don't know. But what's hard to explain in this industry is when someone finds that rock star, goes and blows it up, but it's in the wrong position in the compensation plan of most companies, and you're having to explain to them why they're not making money. This eliminates that. So for somebody like, just recently I enrolled Lauren that was at the event. She just enrolled at the event. This is why we want to get everybody to Ultimate. This is why when people come in, and Lauren did this from Louisiana, Lauren come in and I explained to her why 30% and going Ultimate unlocks gold status. She immediately come in with an Ultimate. She immediately come in, bought enough drops to go Ultimate status day one and lock in that 30% plus the gold status. So forever and always, if that one explosion happens in her business, guess what? Boom, she's going to capitalize on it. So it's super powerful. This is what sets us apart to be the number one compensation plan.
Okay, so we're going to switch gears. That's the compensation plan. You've got your new volume bonus. You've got your base pay. You've got your matching check. You got your savings bonus. That's the 4 big ways you're getting paid. But what we're going to just clarify real quick, I had that Tahiti trip out of place. Just remember, you got to make $25,000 in the pay plan, more than you did the previous 45 weeks, which would have been the 45 weeks prior to February 1st, and that will win your Tahiti trip. But the Bahamas trip just got announced. That's our North American vacation. We just got back from Mexico. Ken and Deb, y'all are with us this morning, and I love you guys. Y'all live in Canada. We all win the trip. We show up in Puerto Vallarta, and this is a network marketing life here. This is how you know you're in a weird industry. I promise this does not happen in the coaching world. But Ash and I show up in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. We hug Ken and Deb. We always see them somewhere in the world because they always win their trips. But then they're like, hey, we own a condo right down the street. And I just like, that's how, it always blows my mind. That's how network marketers live. But Ken and Deb, how good is it and how fun is it to win all these vacations everywhere?
It's amazing. You know, when we first joined, we're like, we're never missing a trip. What do we have to do? Work. Okay, show me what I got to do. And so, you know, I came from the corporate world, and I'll never forget, I won a huge cruise. But what happened in the time is I got promoted. So the person that took my position got the cruise. I said, that will never happen again. And so when these trips come up, we just figure it out for as many people as we can. This is something extraordinary that the average person doesn't get to tap into all the time. And through these business rewards, you get to go, you get to hang out with people that are like-minded, that lift you up, that inspire you to want more. And just you make up your mind, you're not going to miss them. Work with your mentor and figure it out, because they are something we'll never, ever forget. These are the memories your life is made of.
Yeah, that's what it's all about.
Okay. Go ahead, Brent. Okay, I thought somebody was saying something. All right, so we're going to explain the business rewards, which can be used for Tahiti too, but is for sure the way to win the Bahamas trip. You're going to need 360,000 reward dollars, and we're getting ready to explain how you get those. This is not the pay plan. I don't really even know how to explain this. It's kind of a secondary pay plan that runs to allow you to get free product and free vacations. You do not have to remember anything I'm about to tell you, because I'm going to show you where it's tracked in your back office. All you got to do is go and look, and it'll keep up with it on real time for you. So to win the Grand Hyatt Bahamas vacation, you need 360,000 rewards. By the way, these reward dollars turn to real dollars at 1%. So 360,000 reward dollars is equal to 3,600. So that's the amount of money you need to get in your reward account. That will get you free airfare and free Bahamas trip. Now, here's how it works. So when you log in to your X office and you click on My Money, under My Money, the first drop-down icon, it says Partner Co. Business Rewards. You're going to log in. I've got it circled there. It's going to show the amount of reward dollars that it's building up that you have. Probably a lot of you that have been here for a little bit, have money there already. You don't even know it, because every single thing you do triggers reward dollars, from sponsoring people to building. If you look just above that yellow circle, there's one there that says earning history. When you click there, it's going to pull this chart up. And this is going to identify the different ways you get reward dollars. Mine is a little off. It's hard to read this one. It's much easier in a new one because it takes time for this first circle to start growing. But the first circle, it says pay line growth. That is where you get your biggest dump from, or cash drop. So for every, I'm going to give you both dollars and volume points. So for dollars, for every $750 in base pay that you make more in a 26-week period compared to the previous 26-week period, for every $750 in base pay you make more, you get a $250 cash drop in your account. So let's walk through that real quick. The 26-week period runs January 1 to July 1. And the second 26-week period runs July 1 to December 31. So if you're brand new, you're competing against zero. This little circle is going to be tracking it for you. So let's just say you're brand new and you start making $750 a week in base pay, and you do that for the next 10 weeks. So that'd be $7,500 in base pay. That's 10,750. So you would now get 10 times 250, or $2,500 put into your reward account. That's one of the ways you're getting money. You can see the next one says new customers and new members. That gives you credit. It won't be as much, but you'll get something every time. Another great way is when you advance by title, that third circle, whatever volume points was needed to advance. Let's just say you wanted to become senior officer. Senior officer is 13,334 points. It's my favorite title because that tells you that you have optimized the leg. You've gotten into bonus money. But 13,334, if you achieve that title, they immediately that week put 13,334 in there. Again, it's 1%. So it's like $130, 13,334 reward dollars. I don't know why they do it this way. I guess to make us all pull our hair out explaining it. Okay, but here's the key thing. If you go down, all I did is, this is the circles below that. I just put it on two different screens. But if you look there, earning at your title. This is something that very few people know. If you achieve a new title for the next 26 weeks after you achieve that title, if you hit it again, meaning you have this volume points needed, you're going to get that same cash drop every week. So let's just say you became senior officer. They gave you 13,334 in there, $134. If you do that 26 weeks in a row, you'll get that 13,334 all 26 weeks, or 134 times 26. So that's another great way to add in. You don't have to remember any of this. It is all kept up with inside of your back office. So just go in there, look, track it, talk to your upline with questions, and just know your goal is for that number to be 360,000. Did they give us a cutoff date to win the Bahamas trip? When does that end on the Bahamas? Nobody knows?
31st.
December 31st?
March 31st.
Okay. So you have between now and March 31st to get 360,000 reward dollars to win the Bahamas trip. You can also use those reward dollars. You can convert it to your e-wallet and buy a free product. I always tell people, don't do that. Save those dollars and go on these free trips. They are trips of a lifetime. Our company does them first class. Ashley and I have been in this industry for a really long time. We've probably been on 50 trips. I can't even count them anymore. But I've never been on trips where they pay for so many excursions as this company does, meaning that when we go, we literally are going scuba diving, snorkeling, and it's all paid for. You just show up with your duffel bag and we're off to the races. I see John and Christioki are saying something about yes. Y'all might want to ask something in too.
Somebody asked, is that for one person? The 360, is that for one person? How much is it for a couple?
Brent, can you answer that? I don't want to say that wrong. Or Kristal. Is 360,000 for one person or two people with Bahamas? I do not know off the top of my head.
think
Go ahead, Deb. Please explain it. They just announced this, and I'm not up to speed yet. Go ahead, Deb.
It's one because Bahamas is very expensive too. This is a really nice trip. So that's for one. It's still so doable.
Okay, so it's 360 for one. That means it's going to be 720 for a couple, correct? Okay, 360 for one, 720 for a couple. You can also, if you get $1 million in there, that wins the Tahiti trip also. So you can make $25,000 in the pay plan, or $1 million in there, which is 10,000, wins your Tahiti trip. If you got any other questions, throw them in the chat, and then any of you guys that want to add anything.
Yeah, I'll say this from a higher level as people are looking at this. One thing I loved about this compensation plan and about what we do, it's fair. You know, when people ask me all the time, how do I get on Power Ranker? It's fair. Go recruit. Go build a team. Like it's not, does Darren and John like Deb and Ken more than they like Brent Palmer? No, it's all fair. How do I get on a trip? Go earn it. Like it's laid out for you, you know, and so I want everybody to know, if you're just joining this company and you want a level playing field company that just treats everyone the same, and you just can get to go earn it, and there's no ceiling, there's no cap, you go make it what you want, you're in this company that can make that happen.
Yeah, and we did see them come in the chat about the spouse. You generally can pay for and add a spouse. The Tahiti trip may be an exception because we're on an ultra luxury boat in the Tahiti this time. We're going to like 8 islands in 7 days, something like that. So I think there's limited space there. So if you do win it and want to add a spouse, you just need to do that at ASAP. The Bahamas should be very different. Bahamas should be unlimited room. So I don't think it'll be any trouble to add or pay for a spouse to the Bahamas. But I'm not in charge, and this vacation was just announced. So I'm just giving you an educated guess. I don't want that to be held against me. But in times past, you've for sure been able to do that.
Todd, I just want to quickly say that this is a well-rounded compensation plan for the average person when they want to go to be a big builder for everyone. And it even has retention built in, because you have someone that is at $4,000 in their savings bonus, and life comes along and they have a tumble and they have a challenge. It's sitting there waiting for when they're ready. I have several people that life came along and had some really big challenges, but they're still got 4,000 or 5,000 in a savings bonus. Are you going to quit? No, it's to hold you in and keep you retained. So I love that. And it doesn't stop. I thought when I started, it stopped at 10,000. After that, it continues as a monthly payment. So if you want to get a car, that's your way to get your car, and just work to that ability. But there's a retention, there is a matching bonus where all of you may be looking, and maybe you're new and you look at it, go, well, that's not me. But you know, I knew this lady in Vancouver who wanted to do a little, who knew another lady in Vancouver who wanted to do a little, who knew someone in Australia. And through that matching bonus, I built many different countries like Mexico and Australia on my 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th level. And when you have 16 or 20,000 people and you're still maybe making $10 on each of them, do the math. That adds up. And that's when it just blows up into this residual income that all you're doing is tap rooting and helping the people that want to be helped. So this pay plan's for everybody.
So let's end it this way today, and let's throw Kristal up too, Ant, if you can. But I just want to go around the horn, because you know, our industry, we're always attracting people that have never been in the industry before, and then they're immediately told by somebody they're an idiot or it doesn't work or whatever they say. But once you get in the industry, you really and start making money, you realize that all these people in real jobs are the ones that don't have common sense, because none of us work, none of us have alarms. None of us have anywhere we've got to be. Ashley and I are on South Beach right now, getting ready to go to our son's college football game this afternoon here in Miami. And what I want to do is just start with Ken and Deb and go around the horn, because all of you guys live life on your terms now. So Deb, I know you were in corporate America, and you walked away from a salary, what people would call a good job. but you and Ken now have condos in Mexico. You live in Canada, you in Australia all the time. But if y'all don't mind, just go around the horn and share what this industry's done for you from a time standpoint or freedom standpoint, and then we'll call it a day.
Yeah, you know, we didn't like alarms. We didn't,
No.
because the corporate world, this is the only day we put the alarm on at 6:30 in the morning to get on here because it lifts us up, but that's a choice. So freedom and choice is important. Yes, we have to go to Australia once a year. We have an amazing team there. Oh dear,
Okay.
right? It's just, and it's a write-off for our business to be around like-minded people that lift us up. Travel was massive for us and it's very, very expensive, but this allows us to have financial and time freedom. Nothing else ever does.
Yeah, and remember that it's a write-off. We get to write this off. Like we went to Florida, we get to write, in Canada, we get to write off 2 trips a year, big ones. So Florida's going to be 1 or 2 conferences. And then we went to Australia in March. That was another one, full write-off. So just remember that too. These little things you get to write off too. So.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Deb. Thank you for being here. Anthony, on my screen, you're up next.
Yeah, this I actually started this industry when I was a kid, like 21 years old, and I never thought it was going to be something like this. I just was like, hey, I just need to make some extra money while I'm in college, not knowing that it was no cap on how much I could make. So I literally was able to finish up school, and I really never had to go work for anybody. I was able to take care of my grandparents the last 10 years before they went home to the good Lord. Didn't have to worry about anything. Was able to give my grandfather money to help him pay bills. And now I get to take care of my older brother who's handicapped. He's blind. I get to literally do that. Don't have to worry about the hassle of trying to figure out if the government is going to pay me enough to do it. This opportunity, and it also allows me to travel the world. I always told Todd and Brent that I'm going to travel the world, and I get to do it with them now, all because of this amazing opportunity. And I love that it's a tax write-off.
I love your new office.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll say this. Let Chris close it out. The man. You know, for me, it really is. I got into this as a high school football coach, a principal, and an athletic director, and I'd always just made enough money to pay my bills. And I mean, gas prices go up. I struggled, worried, always worried about a car payment. Got into this, and I just really got in to make some part-time money, $500, $1,000 a month. But where my mind changed on what I had my hands on in the industry, I just simply did a presentation one night. A CEO of a company joined my business. I didn't do the presentation any different. He joined, and because of him, my business has never been the same. And when I say you're one person away from an explosion, I lived it. It changed my life. It changed my financial future. It changed the way I thought. I started reading The Richest Man of Babylon, and I realized that because I was making extra money then. Nobody wants to read The Richest Man of Babylon when they're broke. You start making some extra money, that book becomes really important. And so for me, I'm a little bit of a gambler. I mean, don't take that the bad way, but when you start realizing that the next person you talk to could be David, the guy that changed my life and joined my business years ago, you want to take that call. You want to get on that Zoom. You want to go to that party. Like, you don't want to miss it because you don't know who's sitting in the living room. You don't know who's on the other side of the Zoom. You don't know who's on the other side of that phone line that is the next person that can change their life, but also can explode your life. And that's where, to me, the vision of this, what we got our hands on, changed. And I'll never go back. I always say, I found something that I can retire into and not fight to retire out of.
Chris,
Dr. Kristal, let her. She got off, and now she's back. She got bumped
we're
out.
gonna leave the blonde for last.
Oh, got the bonds.
We can't close out with gray hair.
What's Nathan, I know Todd's got his great showing up now. What I laugh about is that every story is almost the same, isn't it? Brent said one person changed his business. And for most who don't know, that's exactly what happened to me. I was about ready to quit the industry, and one person joined that changed, and that was, gosh, 16 years ago. And I apologize for my phone ringing. I had somebody washing my boat, and he called to let me know he's finished him when we PayPal him. So what is life like? Like, I've tried to pay a guy on PayPal for washing my boat today, and I'm here on a Zoom. I've had a cold, but it doesn't matter, right? Because I got paid anyway this week. I missed a lot of, I really I came out of the Orlando event with a bad cold, and I'm feeling better now. But I think what we most all need to understand is, if you never experience residual income, and everyone I deal with rejection, everyone I deal with something that somebody says, and I just laugh now when people tell me this ain't going to work. I just like, go for it, man. I'm headed to my boat. I just think it's hilarious. So you're brand new and you think it's abnormal, but I assure you, Coach Palmer and Kristal and Anthony, Devin, still have people tell them that's stupid. That'll never work. Or it's a pyramid. I mean, I just laugh and I'm like, go for it, man. Get back to that job. And had a neighbor that told me that was. I'm like, just get back to that job. That's fine with me. So just be focused in and don't know it's a real business. It'll take time. Once you build it, it'll make you lazy. That's what Todd tells me all the time. I've gotten lazy. I don't think I'm lazy. I just think I've got more directed in things I like doing more. So it's hard to give up the community. So Kristal.
All right. I went to work in the dark. I got off of work in the dark. I lived in Wyoming where it was cold 9 months out of the year. And 8 years later, I literally sent a phone call to Brent Palmer saying, oh my gosh, I just woke up. I live in Florida. We're in the middle of remodeling a beach condo. And my phone rang nonstop yesterday with people that I love. And 8 years ago, I went and gave every minute of my day to people that I liked, but there was a lot of people I didn't. And I did not know how to get out of that rut, even though I grew up around this industry. I thought going to school and spending $200,000 to get a degree and a doctor in front of my name was the right thing to do. And so I did it. And at the end of the day, all I did was buy myself a job. I was a small business owner making $500,000 a year, and I still couldn't make it work. I still had debt. I still had employees. And the only way to get any bigger there was to get bigger, just like here. But that came with more headaches, more employees, more businesses, less hours in my day. Here, when I want to get bigger, I get bigger by adding another line and teaching other people how to do what I do. And when I do that, I get more time back. So as Coach Palmer talked about gambling, consider this the ultimate double down. Every time you add somebody to your team, you're just doubling down one more time. You're just doubling down. So it doesn't get, I honestly don't know how it can get much better than what we have, but they keep showing us. So you know what? Let's just keep doing what they show us to do, because it's worth it. I promise you, it's worth it.
Thank you, John and Christy Oki and Marla and all you guys working in the chat room. I've seen you guys help and answer all the questions. Greatly appreciated. And everybody out there, have a super blessed Saturday, Sunday. Enjoy football. And Anthony, let's leave the room up just a little bit and let everybody say goodbye to each other. Thank all our guests for being here.